The Bleacher Report just posted this article about 3 hours ago. It's titled, NBA Trade Rumors. Pacers like Cavs Collen Sexton amid Turner, Sabonis, Levert buzz. So, I found this interesting, guys. Let's talk about that for a little bit before we head into tomorrow night's Cavaliers game. The Indiana Pacers reported like Cleveland Cavaliers guard Collen Sexton as a potential return in a trade for Caris Levert, according to Joe Vardon of The Athletic. Indiana reportedly sees the 22-year-old as a terrific scorer, though the Pacers had not yet brought him up in discussions they've had with Cleveland's executives. Sexton is out for the season with a torn meniscus in his left knee, but the Pacers could take a long-term approach after a 12-16 start to the year. The team is reportedly considering becoming a seller before the February 10th trade deadline, while taking calls on Levert, Domantas Sabonis, and Myles Turner per Shams Charania and Bob Kravitz of The Athletic. That's kind of interesting, so let's get in more to it. The Cleveland is 16-12, is seeking its first playoff appearance since 2018, and could use a proven shooting guard like Levert to replace Sexton in the lineup. Levert is averaging 15.5 points per game in his first full season with the Pacers, and he's always capable of taking over offensively. He scored 26 points in Indiana's latest win over the Dallas Mavericks, and he has topped 20 points in 5 of his 20 games this year. He could provide a boost to the Cavaliers' offense that ranks just 18th in the NBA in efficiency. The 6'6" Levert could also be a better fit for Cleveland in the backcourt than Sexton, 6'1", alongside the 6'1" Darius Garland. On the other hand, Indiana already had a bigger two-way guard in Malcolm Brogdon, 6'5", but could use another perimeter scoring option. Sexton could fill that role after averaging 20 points per game for his career, including 24.3 points per game in 2020-2021. If the 2018 number 8 overall pick can return to full strength from his knee injury, this suggested deal could be a win-win for both teams. Now, see, the issue with Cleveland, if you want to point out a glaring weakness that they have, is their offense. So their guards are tall. Everyone on the team is at least 6'5" or taller. They are great on the defensive front, but offensively, they play at a very slow pace. And without their best scoring weapon in Collen Sexton, Caris Levert would be a great fit for this team, and it would really help out Darius Garland. So either someone's going to have to step up on the roster, or the Cavs will have to look for another impactful offensive talent, such as Levert. Having little room to bring in a contract like Levert's, the Cavaliers' options are very limited, but they also do have some movable contracts that they could leverage. Now, I'm not saying this trade would be easy for the Cavaliers to do, but they would have to be willing to sacrifice some of their young talents to do so. But there is a way that this team can acquire Caris Levert from the Indiana Pacers ahead of the trade deadline. So the trade would go just like this. The Indiana Pacers would receive Isaac Okoro, Cedi Osman, Dylan Windler, Cleveland 2023 first-round pick, which is top 3 protected. The Cavaliers would receive Caris Levert and Brad Wanamaker. Now, Collen Sexton being injured does not only shed light on the Cavaliers' offensive problems right now, obviously, but it also forces them to reevaluate his future with the franchise. Being in the final year of his rookie contract, Sexton is set to become a restricted free agent this offseason, and his injury could wind up changing everything for the Cavaliers. Now, by going out and trading for Caris Levert, this may not just be a temporary replacement for Collen Sexton, but a permanent one as well. Being under contract through next season, Levert could save the Cavaliers some money in the short term and give them the ability to go after some big names in 2023, since both Caris Levert's and Kevin Love's contracts will be up. So when you look at the Cavs team as a whole, right? Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen stick out as their main contributors. But second-year man Isaac Okoro has struggled after looking like he could take a big step this season during the preseason. In 19 games for Okoro this season, he's only averaging 17.4 points, 4.1 rebounds, and is shooting 37% from the floor, 21.4% from three-point range. Bringing in Caris Levert will replace his production and take over for Collen Sexton immediately, making the Cavaliers a better team. Cedi Osman has played well this season and is their best three-point shooting threat, averaging 41.4% from deep, but he's making $8.1 million this season, and this contract would have to be sacrificed to bring in that of Levert's $17.5 million contract. By moving on from Caris Levert, the Indiana Pacers would be looking to get back some young, impactful talents, and they would just get from the Cavaliers. Isaac Okoro, Dylan Windler, and Cedi Osman are all young talents that are growing in the league, and the Pacers would also get a protected first-round pick next year. Now let's talk about the Pacers side of the ball. Does this make sense for them? Well, the Pacers are on the verge of a rebuild. Levert would probably be the first player to be traded because of the fact that he's expendable. Indiana acquired Levert last season while he was played well for them on the wing. They have Justin Holiday, Chris Duarte, and TJ Warren, who is close to returning from injury. They have guys to replace Levert's production, and his three-point shooting woes have limited what this team can do with him on the floor. The three-point shot is such a big part of a team's game plan in today's NBA, and naturally, most shooting guards and small forwards can make multiple three-point shots a game. This is not the case with Levert, whereas it is the case with the guys who will replace him. Holiday and Duarte would obviously see their minutes increase, but Osman, 41.4% from three, and Dylan Windler, 40%, would be two big additions for the wing for this team. And not only can they score from the perimeter, they would give the Pacers some more young depth to play around with in rotations next to Brogdon and Sabonis. As for Isaac Okoro, he is only in his second season in the NBA and is already an above average wing defender. So let's talk about the hometown team, the Cavaliers. Does this make sense for them? With Collen Sexton gone for the season, Cedi Osman has really been the only productive player for the Cavaliers on the wing. Dean Wade has had some solid performances here and there, and as Isaac Okoro, but they really have no guys that they can depend on to create space and opportunities for themselves. Darius Garland and Ricky Rubio are basically the only players on this team that can create for themselves, which is why adding Levert would take a tremendous amount of pressure off their backs. He's not much of a facilitator, but he's posted a respectable 2.2 assist-to-turnover ratio since joining the Pacers, and is able to create space on the floor for his teammates because of his ability to attack the basket, which is super key. Now, Cleveland needs a guy like this, and they can depend on for scoring on the wing. Hence why going after Levert is a move that makes sense, even if they have to give up some core secondary talents to acquire him. Now, according to Chris Fetter of the Cleveland.com, there are members of the Cavaliers front office that think very highly of Caris Levert and believe he could be a great fit next to some of their young talents. Making $17.5 million this season, like I was telling you earlier, and $18.8 next season, Levert is not only a affordable player that the Cavs can add to their roster, but someone that can provide immediate scoring help, possibly taking them to the playoffs for the first time since you know who, King James, left for LA. How amazing would that be for the Cleveland Cavaliers this year if they made it to the playoffs and won out of the first round? That would be fantastic for the land. So you guys, in the comment section, I want to know your opinion. Let me know what you think about this trade. Does this trade work? Is it possible that Levert would have that type of success in Cleveland? So you guys, tomorrow we'll be back with some Cleveland Cavaliers basketball, and you already know, we'll be back better than ever, and we'll always save you all a seat. Peace.